In this Cypress tutorial, we are going to see selectors in the Cypress web automation testing. So there are different ways of writing the selectors. By using that, we can perform the actions on the any web element in the web application. So here is the first example. By using the attribute, we can identify the web page element. So here, firstly, you need to write the tag name, followed by that attribute is equal to the attribute value. So here I have taken the one example. By using that, I'm just printing the text of the web element. If you look at the next line, I'm using the cy.log and simply I'm printing the element dot text. So by using this method, I'm printing the text of this particular web element. In the similar way, we can identify the element by using the ID. For example, if HTML tag has the attribute as ID, so simply you can use that particular ID value. So simply you need to start with the hash, followed by that you need to enter the ID value. So by using that, so in this case also we are just printing the text of this particular web element. And moving on to the next type of selector is by using the class value, you can identify the element. And also when there are multiple elements you found when you write XPath or the CSS selectors, so you can use the first, last, and index. So if you look at this particular first example, so firstly we are identifying the element by using the dot. So you can identify any element if that tag has the class as an attribute. So simply you can specify the class value here, and by using the dot operator you can specify the class value. So it will identify the element which has the class as a attribute and which has this particular value. And in this example, so by using the first, say for example, if your selector is matching with the 10 elements, in that case, if you want to perform any action on the first element, so simply you can call to the first method, and here you can add the action statement. In the similar way, if you want to perform any action on the last element, so you can call to the last method, and here you can perform the action. In the similar way, say for example, if any selector is matching with the 10 elements, out of that, if you want to perform any action on the intermediate web element, so by using the index, you can perform the action on the element. So here, after the selector, I'm using the EQ. So inside this, I'm specifying the index. So by using this index, you can perform the any intermediate element if that selector is matching with the multiple elements. And next selector is starts with and ends with. So here, so these selectors are very much similar to the first one. If you see here, so firstly we are using the tag name, followed by that attribute and value. So here also we are doing the almost same. For starts with, we are using the cap symbol. Say for example, we have the attribute called type as submit. So here sub is, it stays constant. So MIT is always getting changed in those cases. So wherever you find starting value is constant, so simply you can specify the starting value here. So by using the starts with, you can identify the web element, and then you can perform the action. In the similar way, if you know the any attribute which has the ending value is constant, in that cases you can use the ends with concept, and simply you can add the dollar symbol at the end of the attribute. So another example, we have the contains. So this is also very much similar to the starts with and ends with. So in this case, we are using the tag name followed by attribute and value, but here you can observe we are using the one special operator called star. So by using this one, it is able to identify the element. So in these cases, all three cases, we are specifying the partial value. So in the first example, we are specifying the starting value of the attribute, and in the second example, we are specifying the ending value of the attribute. In this contains, we are specifying the partial value. Say for example, if we are having an attribute, if we are having an attribute that has a dynamic starting value and a dynamic ending value, and if intermediate value is remains constant, in those cases you can use the contains. Or if you know the partial value, in those cases you can use the contains also. In the similar way, we can use the Cypress contains method as well. So if you look at the syntax, we are using the Cypress, that is a cy command dot contains. So here you can add the partial text or the link text. So by using this, you can perform any action on the web element. The last one we are having is by using the tag name, we can identify the web page element, and by using that, you can simply perform the any action. So in this example, this is a tag name, and after that, I'm using the EQ. By using the index approach, we are performing the click operation. Now I will go to the VS Code. Let's see all these examples with the real-time web application. Here I'll quickly create one JavaScript spec file. So here I'll say Cypress selectors test dot cy dot gs. So that's it. And inside this JavaScript spec file, I'm going to create the one test suite and one sample test. So here I will use the describe. So by using the describe, I will create the one test suite. So here I'll say test suite name as Cypress selectors suite. So that's it. I will put the comma and I will add the function here. So that's it. And inside the suite, let's create a one test by using the it block. So here I'll say it, and here I will add the test name. So here I'll add the test name as Cypress selector test. Then I will put comma, and here I will say the function. That's it, guys. So we have the test suite by using the describe keyword, and we are having one test by using the it block. Now let's discuss the scenario. So here I will go to the google.com, and here I will search with the JavaScript by testers talk. And once we got the result, so simply I will take the some part of the URL and I will open the another tab and I will add it here. So firstly, we will go to this Google page and we will identify this particular search text box, and where some text is displayed, we will get this particular text by using the text method. So firstly, let's navigate to this Google page first. So I will copy this URL and I will go to the VS Code, and here I will use the cy command dot visit. So by using the visit, I will navigate to the URL, and after going to the URL, I will have to identify the web page element. So by using the first approach, that is by using the attribute approach, we are going to identify the element and we are going to print the text of that particular web element. So here I will inspect this element, and if you see here, which has the tag name as text area, and there are multiple attributes and values. So in this case, we are using the type is equal to search. So simply I will copy this type is equal to search, and firstly we have to use the tag name. So here I'll say tag name first, text area, and followed by that I will add the attribute is equal to value. So type is equal to search. So if you see here, it is matching with one of one element, and it is highlighting in the left side respective web element also. So simply I will copy this selector, then I will go to the VS Code, and here in the single quotation I'm adding the selector, and then I'm using the then method. So here I'm storing this element into the variable called element, and then I'm adding the function. So that's it, guys. Now I will print this particular text from the web element. So what we have identified just now. So here I will use the cy.log. By using the log, we are going to print the text of the web element. So here I will say message as text from Google. So that's it. And I will use the plus operator to add the text. So I will take this element variable, and here I will call to the method called text. That's it, guys. Now our test is ready. Now I will go to the Cypress test runner, and let me just click on this specs. So here you can see that Cypress selectors test. Simply click on the spec file what we have created just now. So our tests are getting loaded. So firstly, it is navigated to the this particular Google page, and it is trying to get the element. Then it is going to print the text of the web element. And if you see the output here, so our test is getting passed, and also in the log, it is printing the message text from Google, and it is printing the JavaScript by tester stock, right? In the similar way, so let's go to the second type of selector. So in this second type, we are using the hash, where HTML tag has the attribute as tag and which has a respective value. So by using this syntax, we are going to identify the element and we are going to print the text of the element. In the similar way, if you look at the same web element, right? So it has the multiple attributes, and also it has the one attribute called ID. So let's search for the ID. So I will remove the XPath. I will remove the CSS selector. And if you see this particular text area which has multiple attributes, so there is a one attribute called ID, and if you see here, so there is an attribute called ID. So we will use this particular ID value. So here I will go to the search and simply I will add the hash and the ID value, right? So here I have used a hash operator followed by the ID attribute value. And if you see here, so it is matching with 1 of 1 and it is matching with the respective web element. So simply I will copy this particular selector, and in the similar way before that, let's use the same statement. I will copy all these three statements, and here I will say text from Google 1 and text from Google 2. So here I will add the CSS selector. We have identified an element by using the ID. So I will take this CSS selector and I will add it in the get method. So that's it, guys. So firstly, we have identified an element by using the attribute. And in the second case, we are identifying an element by using the ID. So let's rerun the test. So this time also, it is going to print the web element text. And if you see here, so firstly, it is printing the text as JavaScript by tester stock. So first time it is identified by using the attribute. Second time, Cypress is identifying the element by using the ID, and it is able to get the text of the web element. Now let's move on to the next type of selectors. So if you look at the third one, so where we are talking about the class, first, last, and intermediate. So let's look at the Google page here. So if I inspect the videos link, right, so which has the multiple tags and attributes, if I go a little bit up, so which has the class as the value, right? So if I take this particular class value and in the find, simply I will add the dot and I will add the respective class value. So right now it is matching with the all these elements, and if I go inside, so there are anchor tags, 3 anchor tags, and first anchor tag is highlighting on the videos, and second anchor tag is highlighting the GitHub, and third anchor tag is highlighting the YouTube. So simply I will add the one greater than symbol here, and I will add the A. Right now it is matching with the 4 elements. The first element is videos, second element is GitHub, and third element is YouTube, and fourth element is images, right? Say for example, so right now we are identifying an element by using the class, that is a dot operator and followed by the class value. And simply I will take this particular CSS selector. If I want to click on the first element, so simply you can call to the first method and you can perform the any action. Right now we are clicking on that particular first link, that is the videos link. So I will go to the VS Code now, and here I will say cy dot get. Firstly, we will add the selector, and then here I'm calling to the method called first. Then I'm calling to the method called click. So we are performing the click operation. So that's it, guys. Now let me go to the VS Code, sorry, test runner, and I will run the Cypress test now. So it should click on the videos. Right now it is not yet clicked. So this is the initial page. And if you see here, so automatically video tab is getting highlighted now. And if you look at the test also, our test is getting passed, right? So similarly, so in this scenario, if I see the fourth element, so it is highlighting the images. So let me show you once again. So this is the first element. So right now we have clicked on the videos. So this is the second element. This is the third element, that is a YouTube. And fourth element is images. For example, if I want to click on the last element, that is images, so you can perform the any operation on that particular element. So by calling to the method called last here. So simply you can copy this. So I will comment this particular line, and here I will say above as first element, and I will copy this once again and I'll paste it down here. So here I'll say last element. So this time we are clicking on the images button. So here I'll say last. That's it, guys. Now I will run the Cypress test once again. So this time we should be able to click on the images button or images link. So if you see here, so our Cypress test is clicking on the images, and also you can look at the test status. Our test status is getting passed. So this is working as expected. Now let's use the index approach. So here I will say index, and I will comment this part. So if you look at these web elements, say for example, if I want to click on the GitHub or YouTube, so by using the index, you can click on this. You can perform any action on the particular web element. So that is not an issue. So always index starts with the 0. So in this case, 0 is nothing but the videos, 1 is nothing but the GitHub, 2 is nothing but the YouTube, and 3 is nothing but the images. Say for example, I want to click on the GitHub. So in this case, I will specify the index as the 1. So here I will go to the VS Code, and here I will say dot eq. Then I will specify the index as 1. So that's it. So simply I will rerun the Cypress test once again. So this time it will click on the GitHub button or a GitHub link. And if you see here, so GitHub is getting highlighted, and also our test is getting passed, right? So we are able to click on the GitHub link successfully. So this is how you can use the class first method and last method, and by using the index approach, you can perform the action on the any of the elements when element is matching with the multiple elements. Now let's see how to write an selectors for the starts with, ends with, and contains. For starts with, we have to specify the starting attribute value, and in the ends with, we have to specify the ending attribute value, and we have to use the respective symbols for the starts with and the ends with, and for the contains also. So where we are specifying the some partial attribute value. So let's see all these three examples. I will go to the Google page here. So I will inspect the search icon here. And if you look at this particular element, which has the button, and if I scroll a little bit right side, which has the type as the attribute and value as submit. So here I'm just writing a simple selector for the starts with. So I will use the type attribute, and I will add the starting value of the type attribute. So here I will say, firstly I will write the tag name as button, and followed by that I'm adding the attribute name as type, and I will add the cap symbol. So we are right now writing the CSS selector for the starts with. So in the double quotes, I'm specifying the just sub. So here I'm adding the starting value of the type attribute. So if in some cases what happens, so ending value will be always dynamic. So it will be keep on changing. In those cases, you can use the starts with concept. So I will go to the VS Code now, and I will comment this part, and I will come down here. So here I will add the comment as starts with, and I will start using the cy command dot. Here I'll say get. Firstly, let's identify the element by using the get. So once we get the element, so simply we will perform the click operation on the element. So that's it. Now I will go back to the test runner, and here I will rerun the Cypress test. So this is the initial screen. So it has not clicked on the search icon. So after clicking on the search icon, so you can observe these results. So it will be different sometimes. So sometimes it will display the same results. So it looks like it is already clicked on the search icon. So let's rerun the test once again. So this is the initial page. And if you see that particular icon, so it has already clicked on the search icon. And also it is our test is getting passed here, right? In the similar way, let's use the ends with concept. So if you see the attribute type, so simply I will add the last three characters, that is MIT, and you need to add the after the attribute dollar symbol to identify the element by using the ends with. And if you see here, so it is matching with the search icon, and also it is matching with the one of one element. So simply I will copy this. So here I will comment this part, and then here I will say ends with. So here we are adding the ending attribute value by using the Cypress command. So here I'm calling to the method called get, and I'm adding the selector that is ends with. Then we are going to click on the particular element. That's it, guys. Now I will run the Cypress test. So this is the initial screen of the Google page in our case. So if you can observe over here, so it is clicked on the search, and so it is loading the page, and also you can see the results here. So I will rerun once again. So you can observe this particular search icon. Whenever it is clicking on this particular search icon, so it is getting highlighted this search icon. So I will rerun this particular test. And now this is the initial screen. You can observe to the search icon. And if you see here, so it is clicking on the search icon. Now let's use the contains approach. By using that, we can write the CSS selector. So I will go back to our Google page. So here, if you see the attribute and value, so I will not write the starting letter S and ending letter T. So I will specify the some partial text of the type attribute. So I will specify the UB and MI. And here I will enter the star as the operator. And here I'll say UB MI. That's it. So it is able to locate the element by using the contains also. So you can copy this selector, and I will go back to the VS Code. So here I will say contains. Here I'll say CSS selector, and then I will add the CSS selector value. So that's it, guys. Now I will run the Cypress test once again. And this is the initial screen. So still it is loading the page and it is clicking on the search icon and we are getting the results. And also you can see the test output also. So our test is getting passed, right? So this is the contains approach of the CSS selector. Now let's see an example for the Cypress contains selector. So here in this Google page, so if I search with the test stock partial text or the link text, if I mention inside the contains, so it will click on the wherever test stock link is available, simply it will click on the respective link. So here I will go to the VS Code and here I will say, so here I will add the comment as contains and here I will add the Cypress. So after the cy command, here I'm using cy dot contains command. Inside this one I'm adding the link text, that is a testers talk, and simply we are clicking on the that particular YouTube channel by using the click method. So that's it. Now I will go back to the test runner and here I will run the Cypress test. So after going to the Google page, it should navigate to the testers talk YouTube channel. And if you see here, so it is navigated to the testers talk YouTube channel. Now let's look at the next selector. By using the tag name, you can identify the any web element and then you can perform the action. So for this example, so here I'm navigating to the YouTube and here I'll say testers talk. So here I will go to this particular YouTube channel, that is a testers talk channel, and here I will inspect the home or videos. And if you look at the DOM details, so I will go little above here. And if you see the tag name, so this is something which is unique tag name. So simply I will copy this tag name. And if I come down little bit, so under this particular tp-yt-paper-tab, under this particular tag, there is a subtag called div. So which is exactly highlighting the respective element. If you look at on the left side, so right now it is highlighting the videos. So after identifying this particular element by using the tag name, so I will add the div tag. So here I will press Ctrl F. So here I have added the first tag name and next I will add the another tag name called div. So it is matching with the very first element, that is home, and if I press enter, it is highlighting the videos, and if I'm pressing another enter, so it is highlighting the shorts and it is now live, so on. So it is matching all these elements over here, right? So let's try to click on the videos. Once we navigate to this particular URL, so we will click on the videos by using the index approach. So I will copy this URL first. So we have to navigate to this particular URL, and here I will comment this part and I will go above and here I will add the comments from line number 4 to the line number 12 as the multi-line comment. Now firstly we have to navigate to the URL by using the cy.visit, and here I'm adding the URL. That's it. After going to URL, so now we have to identify the element by using the get. So in the single quotation inside the get method, we will specify the locator. So I will copy this locator. So I will add the locator here. And if you see here in this case, so it is matching with total 10 elements. So we want to perform an action on the videos link, right? So here 0 is nothing but the home, 1 is nothing but the videos, right? So simply I will specify the index by using the EQ method. So here I'll say 1. Then simply you can call to the click method, so which will perform the click operation. So that's it guys. Now I will go back to the Cypress test runner and here I will rerun the test. So firstly it will navigate to the test talk YouTube channel, and then it will navigate to the, right now it is in the home, and then it is clicked on the videos tab, and our test is getting passed, if you see on the left side. So let's try to click on the shorts also. So if I specify the index as 2, it will click on the shorts also. So I have saved the code, and here I will run the Cypress test once again. So this time it will click on the shorts link, and if you see the on the right side, so it is able to click on the shorts link, and also our test is getting passed. So this is how you can identify the element by using the tag name.